Well, I've been doing this for 40 years, and I'm going to teach Cooper how to do molds.
He already taught Max how to do this.
Max? Oh, yeah.
All right, so what's the first step?
Well, first we're going to take and mix it up with our hands. You're going to take your hand right in the kettle and just mix it all up. So if you can take your hand, and what you're going to do is keep your hand like this, your fingers together. Yep, just like that. So dunk your hand down and go across the chocolate and pull up. Yep. Just do that again. Go across, pull up. Okay, so now this time you're going to take your hand, go across, pull up, and turn it slow. Turn it slow though, don't go fast.
Slow.
Because you'll get it all over. Yep, you don't have to go fast. Now just go slow. You're trying to go, I know you're, just all you got to do, look. See, I just turned slow. Yep, that's it. That's perfect.
Okay.
That's it. I know everybody wants to do it fast because they think they'll spill it or they can't grab it. It's like, it's not, it's not water.
No.
So once you get the hang of that, then we'll move it onto the table. Just turn your hand slow. So when you turn your hand though, watch, I turn my hand so it stops.
It's like a little puddle in your palm.
Yeah. Right, okay, perfect. Do it again. Okay, good. Now, so where you want to pour is going to be like, right in there. So just do the same thing. Now take it and come over here on the table. Okay, you don't want to do it in the middle of the table, but you just want to do it on one side. So this way you have room for your molds and sucker sticks. So do it again. Take it. So your hand acts like a big scoop. Remember, just go slow. You're just turning your hand sideways. Watch, I take my hand, I turn it. Okay, there you go, yep. And then, so when you're doing this, watch, I go across with my thumb and I squeeze down through my fingers. And you get all that chocolate out of there, so it's all off my glove even. So practice that, do that again. Just go slow. Yep. Let's see, you're not. Okay, what I do is, see my hand goes like this. My hand is like pointing upward.
Yep.
There, yeah, that's it. You'll get it, but I don't know, nobody realizes when they say, oh, that's all you do is hand pour, that's easy. But just get it from the kettle to the table is one whole step that you got to learn to, unless you want to, unless you can put it all over the place.
To be fair, you do make it look very easy. Yeah, you make it look like it's second nature, but really it's just 40 plus years of experience.
Hey, look at me over here.
He's getting it though.
Mm-hmm. Some people have actually already noticed that Cooper's a lefty.
Yes.
And Dad's
Born
a
and
righty.
raised.
Yeah, that's not right. He's doing it all wrong. See? And then do your thumb, and then your fingers. That way you squeeze all the chocolate out of your hands. And then you can use your knife too. You can use your knife to wipe your hand off. Just get a couple more handfuls, and then we'll start pushing it around on the table. And you might want to keep your knife up to the top though, because it'll just be in your way.
So can you explain real quick the purpose of the knife?
The knife is to, you can't have your hand in the chocolate too long because the chocolate can crystallize on your hand from the heat of your hand. So you always want to take and clean your hand off every now and then.
And what does the crystallization cause?
Well, it'll get grainy. So
Not what you want.
we don't want that, yeah. So now just take your hand and go across the top, make a little puddle on the table. And now you can take your hand too and go like this, like you did out of the kettle. Just go slow though. You don't have to go fast. Just go like this, slow. No, you don't have to scoop it. Just your hand, your suction cup of your hand, almost like. See it? See how I did that? Yeah, that's it. Then squeeze down from the top, because when you're going to fill molds, that's how you're going to fill your molds. Just squeezing down from the top. Okay, watch this. I take my hand, I just turn slow. Now, if I'm going to fill a mold, I'll just take it and squeeze in my hand slowly. And then when I want to stop, I take my hand and turn it.
You catch it. That's so fun.
So pretending you're filling a mold. Yeah, just squeeze down from the top down, a little bit at a time. Okay. Now do it again, except for hold your hand out like you're holding a mold and pour it in between your fingers and then purposely stop. Just for a visual. How's it feel?
Oh, it's so weird. It's very weird.
Okay, so you know what I mean now? Yep, just like that. And now to stop, what are you going to do? Okay, turn your hand. Yep, that's it. Yep, just turn your hand. You're pouring, and then stop to turn your hand. We'll try something, these guitars here, they're nice and big. Here, I'll show you how to do this. So for now, the chocolate, you gotta make sure the chocolate's right. You gotta have, you got your gun there?
Mm-hmm.
Put your gun on the chocolate. Mine says 87, it's too warm. It's gotta be 80 degrees.
Mine is 91.1.
Okay. So spreading it out on the table, that helps to cool it off, and then just leave it for about a minute on the table so that the top layer of the chocolate gets cold. And then actually the bottom layer will loosen up the chocolate that is on the bottom, and then as you move it a minute later, it'll all mix together and it cools down. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And plus, usually all your chocolate melted inside there now? When you would put your hand in there, was it?
No, there was definitely, I think there's still, actually, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So now that it's all melted, we'll tilt it to, so it'll cool off a little bit while you're sitting here. Okay.
Cool.
So can you explain the double boiler / how you control the temperature?
Well, we use the hot water from the sink to get the chocolate. You got to get it warm enough to 100 degrees, and then bring it down. So once it's all melted, and bring it back down to in the 90s. Then once that happens, then you can go faster on the table because you want it to be 80 degrees. So you can pour it. Otherwise, if you pour it too soon, all the cocoa butter will rise to the top, and it will be all that whiteness in the chocolate, which, you know, it kind of looks neat, you know, swirly and everything, but you don't really want that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it for at home if you want. It doesn't matter that much. You know, it'll
Your
still.
family can eat your mistakes.
Yeah, family can eat the mistakes, and it'll taste just fine.
Yeah.
But to do it the right way, for it to come out nice and shiny and nice, that's what you want to do. You're 80 degrees. And then this is 82 now. So you can keep checking your chocolate.
87. It's going down.
And what temperature is it in the kettle?
Right now it's 95 in my kettle.
102.
Okay, so that'll cool
0.5.
down in a minute. So you just want to push it all to the sides, make a big puddle, all the same thickness basically. And then just leave it for a minute. Wipe your hand off with the knife because you don't want to handle it too much. It's a slow process at first, especially the first puddle. Then after that, I always leave a smaller puddle of cold chocolate, so then when I add more chocolate to it, then it takes less time to cool down the whole puddle. And then you can keep going. That's a secret. Yeah, I don't know too many people that hand pour like this. Most people do it out of a bowl, which you can do it out of a bowl.
Yeah, especially if you're just
like-
doing small batches at home.
Yeah, but like people ask me why we do it this way, but the reason why we always did it this way is because usually I spent 12 hours a day filling molds, whereas when somebody does it out of a bowl, you're just using that bowl
Yeah.
and you're done.
You might be doing it for 12 minutes.
Yeah, so
So you could temper the whole bowl.
so usually I fill up a kettle and I'd use it all day, so that's why we do it this way. It's more efficient for you because you can control the chocolate, you can stop the chocolate, you can see how much is in there, you can control everything, and then you can go faster. But when you're doing it all day, when you're doing many molds, this is the better way instead of using a bowl. But, you know, if you're using a bowl for home and stuff, that's great.
Yeah, especially if you're chocolate covering something, you could just pick up a fork and stab a truffle. And
Just got to remember that it's got to be 80 degrees. You can take a bowl of chocolate, heat it up, make sure it goes over 110, let it cool down. When it gets to be about 92 degrees, throw some little chunks of chocolate into it, stir it up, and then let that cool down to 80, and then you can dunk your items, cookies or whatever you want to dunk in the chocolate, and then put them on a wax paper or something similar to it, and let them dry. Or you can put them in the fridge if you want.
is the 110 like a hard and fast rule about crystallization, or is that just like a guideline, like around 110?
Yeah, that's the crystallization. You got to bring it up to about 110, and then bring it down.
Okay.
It's better that way.
So if someone doesn't want to use a double boiler at home, they could just like microwave and then stir, microwave and stir, or something.
Yeah, if you do a microwave, just fair warning, you have to do it 30 seconds or less at a time, because otherwise the chocolate will burn.
Yeah, like literally 5 seconds in a microwave and chocolate does enough. You'd be surprised. Like stir it around and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you decorate with the chocolate, you're doing it in a little decorating bag, or what do you call it? And then
The pastry bag.
pastry bag, yeah. And so you only do it a few seconds at a time. Now I can feel this getting colder. Can you feel it getting colder in
definitely.
your hand?
Yeah,
Yeah, what's it say now?
82, 83.
Okay, almost there. All right, mine's 79, 78, 79.
Mine started a little bit warmer than yours did.
Mm-hmm. So while you're sitting there too, another thing to do while you're getting it to cool is to practice picking up the chocolate and pouring it. Because you're going to be filling molds. Practice pouring it and stopping it. Yeah. Same thing when you're making barks too. You got to do the temperature thing. Has to be under 80 degrees when you're doing bark on a table or baking pan or whatever size you're going to use. Then bark too. You don't let go of it till it's almost absolutely dry, because that will have whiteness on there. Again, the whiteness is just cocoa butter. Yeah, I can feel this is cold now. This is 78.
81.5.
Okay, so spread it out all over across the table and then wipe your hand off. Give it a minute on the table and then it'll probably be ready.
So can you share your tips and tricks for how to temper a little bit faster? Because I know you do, like, spread it around the table and then you also pick it up and drop it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I pick it up and I go across up higher so then it goes through the air. And that helps cool it off. But it just takes time.
And then while you're waiting for it to cool, you can practice doing the twist.
Yeah, you
For
can
people at
spell,
home.
you can spell your name out maybe.
Can you show people how to do the twist?
The twist?
Mm-hmm.
That?
Yeah.
Oh. That's after you've been doing it for 12 hours a day.
And you're just bored.
Yeah. That's what happens.
Not there yet.
One day.
80.4.
Okay, so now you can take your chocolate, okay, by filling up your hand. Watch what I do. You just go across like a snowplow, pick it up, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then once you've got that, then you want to take it over to your mold, and you can pour it. Just take your time. And now stop it. And then get some more. Yep. Rinse and repeat.
Mm-hmm.
So can you explain to people what you're doing when you're doing that?
Yeah, now I'm just trying to fill in the whole mold and then get get as many air bubbles out of it as you can.
So you could use something that vibrates or just your hand.
Yeah,
Like that.
I mean, if you got something that vibrates, a little vibrating table, like we've got a couple of them with an enrober and with a separate table we have actually that does that.
A vibrating table?
With a tray on it, basically a little motor underneath it.
Someone at home could use an Xbox controller.
Yeah, that's right. Xbox controller shakes, doesn't it? Yeah, that's it.
Like a little head massager thing.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got the, I don't know what you call that, but he's got that down. Whatever that is. What do you call it?
What?
The banging on the table.
Oh. Banging on the table.
He's got the banging on the table down.
Put this in the fridge.
I just feel like a mess right now. I feel like a kindergartner that just stuck his hand in chocolate.
Yeah, this is the way it starts.
Not my best.
Okay, now just shake it and see if you need any more. You need just a little more, that's all. Yeah, that's it. Voila! That's it.
And finish his first mold.
So mediocre.
That's good. That's how it starts.
So what have you learned since your first mold?
Don't let it pour too cold because it doesn't, you can't like shake it to where it looks nice on the back. So it's like a little bit of a temperature thing. Gravity is definitely your friend, and you shouldn't try and fight it because it will win. See, if I poured it too cold, it had like that texture, and I couldn't like shake it out. No, I can't. No, so it's good.
Because I would think, I mean, I haven't really done this, but I would think that pouring too cold would be better because then you don't have to worry about blooming. But then, like you said, you run into other issues.
Yep. It's a give and take.
It seems like just a lot of skills in life, just trial and error.
Yeah, definitely. Let the gravity work because I don't want to squeeze it too much to try and get in there.
So when you say gravity, what are you talking about?
The chocolate like falls by itself, and as much as you like kind of work with your hand to squeeze it down, like when you have a lot in your hand, it doesn't really work too well to squeeze it. You gotta kind of just let like the chocolate fall by itself so that you know you're not gonna go overkill. Have too much all of a sudden in one spot.
And if people are wondering the sounds that Dad's making, this is what he's doing. The potato chip cups.
Yeah, potato chips and dark chocolate.
Yum.
So what do you think you've improved on already?
I feel like I'm still learning.
Well,
like,
yeah.
There's plenty of stuff to improve on. I think it's a lot less messy than the first ones that I was doing. So my aim has gotten better.
Yeah, like getting inside the mold.
Yeah. That's not horrible. You should see my first one.
Can we see your first one, actually?
Did you move it out of the fridge?
Yeah,
It's over there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's one. Yeah, that's one of them. And this one. These two
Oh, yeah.
are the first two.
That's not so bad for your first one, though.
And this one's a little bit warm. See the bloomage? But yeah, that's good. Real
So most of the tempering is it's basically just temperature.
good. Yeah, the temperature is key for pouring, for avoiding the blooming, and then can't have it too cold either, because then by the time you get into the mold and you got the chocolate in there, it could harden up on you already before you shook it, before you got to vibrate it.
So then you can't get
So
the
then
bubbles
you can't,
out.
yeah, and so then you just got to let it harden and throw it back afterwards.
It's in the fridge if you want to see it right now.
Oh yeah. Which one?
That one, it's on the bottom shelf, or like middle bottom shelf.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, so it's already decided what shape it's going to be in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the way I poured it, it just kind of solidified like as soon as it went in. So not the prettiest thing ever, but
So you really can't pour too cold.
no, or else that happens.
Okay, I hope you guys learned something today. You can either fumble around and do the chocolate yourself, and that's fun, or you can order from our website. Just go to our website and order our way.
Let us do all the hard work for you.
Yeah, we'll do all the hard work for you.